Our top story this morning, new overnight, a deadly shooting after a concealed carry license holder opens fire on someone opening fire on him.
These folks out here hate. Yeah, I heard it through the pipeline. Rumors about how they gon' rob me in the nighttime. For real, they just waiting for the right time. But guess what? You never catch me without mine. Without mine. 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 You never catch me without mine.
Alert. People are on edge after a shooting at a Bellevue shopping center. Police say one teen is dead and another is in critical condition.
Metro police say drug activity in this strip mall likely led to around 20 shots being fired last night. Bullets still cover the parking lot outside Evan Bess's Penn Station subs. He was closing up for the night when he heard the first shots ring out.
So I looked up and then saw probably 5 or 6 more.
Evan locked the door, ran to the back, and told his coworkers to take cover. Metro police say an 18-year-old died and a 17-year-old was critically injured in the shooting that has shoppers like Hillary Strickland on edge. Came here.
A few problems around the area, but I didn't know anything like that was going to be right in the parking lot.
No charges have been filed yet as the investigation is still ongoing. Metro police found both of the guns, including one that was hidden inside the Kroger.
In Greenville County, deputies say a 16-year-old has been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting. They say it happened around 9:15 last night at 20 Chalmers Road, which is also the location of the Travelers Inn in southern Greenville County. Deputies say the teenager was held at knife point inside a hotel room. That's when they say the teenager shot and killed 50-year-old John Parker. Deputies say the teenager acted in self-defense but is charged with possession of a stolen firearm.
Mike, one man is in critical condition at UVM Medical Center after police say he was shot by a homeowner. This happened after 11:30 last night in Georgia. 75-year-old Gordon Richard Sr. called 911 to report 3 armed men tried to enter his home on Sand Hill Road. Richard admitted he shot one of them with a muzzleloader. That man was later identified as 39-year-old Paul Brown of Milton and St. Albans. Nobody else was found. Brown is now at UVMMC in critical condition. A search of the home on Sand Hill Road was done. No arrests have been made.
Right in front of Police Chief Ken Rutherford's office. The scenario ended here, but it started a few minutes away in Upper Darby, where police say a car accident turned into an attempted carjacking and a shooting. Upper Darby police say at about 12:30 a.m., a white Kia sideswiped another car in the 300 block of Richfield Road. The victim followed that car, looking to have a word with the driver when they were stopped at a light.
That's when the rear passenger got out and confronted him and tried to carjack his vehicle. And there was an exchange of gunfire.
One of those shots hit the alleged carjacker in the back. That's when the driver of the Kia lost control and crashed. Police say there were 3 people inside the Kia. One is the carjacking suspect who got shot, a 20-year-old man from Colwyn. He was taken to the hospital and is listed as stable. There was also a 15-year-old driver who is from Darby Borough. Police caught him, but they did not catch a third person who got away. The Kia they were riding in had been reported stolen.
The Kias and the Hyundais are stolen all day, every day.
West 2 News starts now with breaking news.
All right, with a breaking update to a story that we've been following since yesterday. Police now say a home invasion led to 2 people getting shot at an Orlando apartment complex.
Just found out the victim killed was just 18 years old.
Yeah, just so young. And this information just came in 45 minutes ago. Police initially said they believe 3 people were shot, but now we know that there were 2 people shot. I want to show you some video from the scene. Police say this started as a home invasion, and they also say that 18-year-old Kevin Dwayne Hodges was killed in the shooting, which happened at 1:14 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. A second person inside the apartment was also shot, but police say they are okay. Again, police say they believe this started as a home invasion, which led to the resident, the person inside the house, shooting at the person breaking in. Police say they don't believe that any other suspects are out there.
A man is dead after a woman shot him in what Richland County deputies believe was a self-defense shooting. They say the man broke into her home. The incident happened around 5 a.m. yesterday at Greenbrier Apartments on Willow Oak Drive. Deputies say a woman shot and killed an intruder after she claimed he was banging on her door. She told investigators that the man got inside of the apartment. The woman, who lives there with her 2 children, says she asked him to identify himself, and when he didn't and continued to approach her, she shot him in self-defense. Law enforcement determined no charges will be filed against her. The children were not harmed in this incident.
Terrifying moments for employees at a jewelry store in Riverside. 2 hammer-wielding thieves carried out a smash-and-grab robbery, and it happened this morning.
Police say several shots were also fired during that robbery.
Tonight, Riverside police are looking for at least 2 suspects caught on camera. Watch. Cameras capture the smash and grab. Around 11 a.m., the suspects followed a customer into Geneva Jewelry at Canyon Crest Town Center in Riverside.
Basically, the customer walked in, but she didn't close it all the way. They walked in nonchalantly like nothing happened. They pulled out their hammers and they just started smashing.
Michelangelo Torchia's dad at the counter, his mother and a family friend in the back of the store as the crime unfolded. You see the customer moving behind the counter as the hooded suspects snatch valuable jewelry from the case and toss into their bags. His father fired shots.
He shot at the ground, and once he shot at the ground, they got scared. They fell to the floor. They walked out. They ran out.
New details this hour about a fatal shooting on a King County Metro bus. It happened in Kent along Central Avenue South. 1 man was killed. King 5's Erica Zuko has the latest from the scene tonight.
I spoke with a witness off camera who says that one of the people involved ran across the street to a shop here where they later collapsed, but it all started over there on that King County Metro bus. Kent police say there was some kind of fight on the bus, and a 35-year-old man shot a 29-year-old man. The 35-year-old told officers the 29-year-old had attacked him before he fired. The 29-year-old died after being shot. Police have not yet determined what the argument was about, how the men knew each other, or whether the 35-year-old will be arrested. They say at this point he is cooperating. Fortunately, no one else in the area or on that bus was hurt. Reporting from Kent, Erica Zuko, King 5.
Yeah, still active scene. It's been like this for hours here in the Southeast Lake community. Now, police say around 2:30, that's when they got the call about this shooting. A woman reportedly said that she shot a man inside of their home about 3 houses down here, again, in the Southeast Lake community. Now, the man was found unresponsive when police arrived on the scene. That's when they pronounced that he was unfortunately dead. Now, the woman who shot the man is now being questioned by police at the moment. Officers say they believe these 2 were boyfriend and girlfriend in a domestic violence situation.
According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, minutes before the shooting, 2 calls were made to 911 by neighbors with similar reports saying that a man was trying to break into their homes. That man, according to next-door neighbor Araceli Herrera, was captured on her security camera early this morning. Concerned about the 14-year-old boy who lives inside, she says she called her neighbor who had just left to take his younger siblings to school. She says as the man continued to try and get inside, that's when she claims she saw the teen open the door and fire multiple shots. According to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, the alleged suspect, a man in his late 20s to early 30s, died on scene, and the teen was not hurt.
It's a very traumatic situation out here when you're talking about a 14-year-old having used deadly force and in protection of himself and his property.
The sheriff said they believe this was likely an attempted burglary, given the man had on a pair of gloves and backpack, which he says is indicative of someone trying to break in. They also believed he may have been homeless.
I'm here at the Cambridge at the Pines apartment where, like you mentioned, this all went down yesterday. I met with Statesboro's chief of police, who said everyone who engaged in this shootout knew each other, and it appears to have been a drug deal gone wrong. Statesboro Chief of Police Mike Broadhead telling me around 5:30 yesterday, a group of 3 men, all college age, drove to Cambridge and the Pines apartments together. One of them got out, went into an apartment, and then shot at the other 2 in the car upon his return. At least 1 person inside the car returned fire, killing the man outside, who police say they believe was the instigator. Chief Broadhead says no criminal charges have been filed, and he doesn't know if they will be, because so far this appears to be a case of self-defense. Everything else is in the preliminary stages of investigation.
3 now to breaking news just into our newsroom. This morning, Harris County deputies say that a suspected burglar is dead after he tried to break into a car where a man was sleeping. We're told the man who fired the gun was sleeping in his car because he had just gotten into a fight with his girlfriend.
When he woke up, he has this strange
individual in the truck with him. He grabbed his gun and shot him multiple times. They shouldn't be out doing it in the first place, but I don't believe he realized that the reportee was sleeping in his truck until it was too late.
According to the sheriff's office, the man who was shot had already stolen from several nearby cars before the shooting. We're told the man who fired his gun stayed at the scene and is cooperating with officers.
We're also learning more tonight about what police say could have been an attempted carjacking turned to a deadly shooting in Minneapolis yesterday.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says officers originally responded for a shots fired call. When they got there, officers found a man lying on the ground shot. He died from his injuries. Another person was taken into custody. Police say the man driving the car, a black Mercedes, drove himself to the hospital.
All 3 individuals are in their 20s. 2 handguns were recovered from the scene. However, we think there is a possibility that there may have been a 3rd gun involved as well.
O'Hara says they're looking into the possibility that shots came from inside that Mercedes. All of this happening with a child inside.
But we're incredibly thankful with all this gunfire so close to the car. A 2-year-old child that was inside the car, thank God, was not injured at all.
Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. The Las Cruces Police Department mourning the loss of one of their own who was killed in the line of duty this afternoon.
Police say Officer Jonah Hernandez was stabbed at least once after responding to a trespassing call before 5 this evening near Amador and South Valley Drive. Police believe Hernandez was stabbed by the suspect who is accused of trespassing. Investigators say a witness then stepped in and shot and killed the 29-year-old suspect. The witness then used Hernandez's police radio to call for help. Hernandez leaves behind a wife and his 2 children, a 10-year-old son and 2-year-old son. This is still an ongoing investigation. Of course, we'll have more here on KRQE.
We are seeing police tape and several cruisers on scene. Police tell us that there was a large party going on in one of these homes when someone opened fire, striking 2 people. One of them died. That's when another person got involved and shot the first shooter, who also died. Right now, we know that 2 people are dead.
It originally came in as citizen calls reporting shots fired. People shot. Upon arrival, we discovered that it was a large after-hours party that was occurring in the residence, specifically the basement and the upstairs.
Now, police say the second shooter is cooperating. This investigation is ongoing, as you can see here by this active and busy scene. We will continue to stay on top of this and bring you any updates as soon as we learn more. For now in Hartford, Jolie Sherman, NBC Connecticut News.
Is currently under investigation in Limestone County. Deputies tell us a homeowner shot a man early this morning who broke into his home. Deputies received a call a little after 4 a.m. from a homeowner on Morris Road in Elkmont. They say the homeowner heard someone trying to break in. The homeowner grabbed his gun and fired several shots once the burglar broke his door down and entered the home. Investigators have identified the burglar, who was shot and killed, as 44-year-old Christopher Hovis of Hartselle. A search of Alabama court records shows he has a lengthy criminal history dating back 25 years. Again, the shooting is under investigation, but deputies say based on preliminary results, it appears the shooting was justified. There are no charges at this time.
A wild police chase off Highway 41 near Ashland Avenue in Fresno Wednesday morning after police say 3 men ditched a car and ran onto the highway to escape officers, only for 2 of them to end up being held at gunpoint by a homeowner. His wife wasn't home at the time but watched it all go down from her Ring camera.
All I hear is him telling them, get out, I have kids here, get out, get out. He had said that one froze up, one automatically hit the floor and was like, I'm sorry, don't shoot. I'm glad he didn't just shoot first because, he did see they were a little bit younger and he was like, I felt bad, but at the same time, my kids are here.
Her husband called police and they arrived shortly after. One of the men was arrested, another bailed, but she got home in time to catch his arrest. The third suspect hid under a boat at a neighbor's house. A canine was sent out to get him. That man was treated by paramedics and was taken into custody.
In East Alabama, the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department investigating a home invasion and a shooting.
And that's how it happened at a home in Alexandria. Deputies there tell us the person who was shot was violating a protection order.
Morgan Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade says the suspect in this case is actually the homeowner's ex-husband. Now, here's what we know. The Calhoun County Sheriff Department got a call a few hours ago from a woman reporting a home invasion by her ex-husband. Deputies arrived and found a man identified as Scott Ingram with multiple gunshot wounds. Ingram was taken to a local hospital. The preliminary investigation indicates that Ingram tried to get into the home and was shot by one of the residents. Deputies say Ingram has an active warrant for violation of protection order issued this morning. He's also currently out on bond from a previous violation of a protection order from late last year, and he has 4 prior violations of a PFA. Now, Sheriff Wade says the homeowner and her daughter were found outside.
I'm Willie Danley in the WRL Breaking News Tracker. I'm standing here outside of the Park Creek Apartments where, as you can see, Raleigh police had this neighborhood blocked off as they investigate a shooting. Take a look at this video that I captured right when I arrived, and you can see those officers going around this neighborhood with some very large guns as they're looking for the suspect. According to RPD, the alleged victim had prearranged the sale of some items on social media. He was then approached by 2 male suspects who attempted to rob him at gunpoint. The suspect then pulled out a weapon, and the victim pulled out his own weapon, and both parties exchanged gunfire. The 2 male suspects fled the scene, and the victim surrendered and cooperated with officers once they arrived here. No injuries have been reported, but 1 building and 3 cars were hit by bullets. As of now, no arrests have been made. Police are still looking for those suspects. We're going to continue to follow this story and keep you updated with any developments that we come across. Back to you.
Thank you, Willie. Grayson County Sheriff's deputies say they know who shot and killed Jimmy Kelly on Campbell Road in Sadler, Texas, Friday. Deputies believe 45-year-old Timmy Kelly shot and killed his brother. Witnesses say the brothers argued. Jimmy threatened Timmy, then gunfire started. Jimmy grabbed a rifle from his home and shot at Timmy, but Timmy fired back, killing him. We're told no charges have been filed.
New at 11 o'clock, MSP now says a man is dead after a shooting over the weekend. We first told you Saturday morning police were investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight near Saginaw and Spencer Street. MSP now says a 34-year-old Flint man was shot and killed, and a 41-year-old man was hurt during an alleged home invasion and assault. Troopers say the home's residents who shot the men have been interviewed and released. If you know anything about this incident, call Flint Police or Crime Stoppers.
According to charging documents obtained by Fox 45 News, an argument between the victim and the 19-year-old suspect, Alexis Valencia, with the other juvenile suspects, triggered the gun violence. After the victim was shot, according to charging documents, Valencia told the female suspect to shoot the boy in the head. She did not, but did, according to police, strike the victim in the head multiple times with a handgun. And we've learned a neighbor who heard the gunshot grabbed his firearm and ran to the scene of the shooting. According to charging documents, he arrived at the playground area, saw the female holding a gun near the victim, ordered her to put down the gun. She threw it in his direction. While the suspects ran off, then sped away in a vehicle, the neighbor with the gun, he was able to get the license plate number. That helped police track them down.
The sound of gunfire shattered the peace of this quiet Marysville neighborhood. A shootout between a homeowner and 3 armed men caught on surveillance camera arriving at his house.
On this side, there's one coming with a rifle in his hands.
His wife did not want to show her face for fear of retaliation. She showed us the surveillance video that captured the men creeping up to her home. Her husband could see them approaching.
That gun right there. And that gun right there.
Oh! That's your husband firing.
That's my husband firing.
The suspects fled on foot, leaving behind a stolen vehicle. That sparked a manhunt that lasted for hours. This is the damage in the light of day. Several vehicles struck by gunfire, some windows reduced to shards of glass, bullet casings found just about everywhere.
15 rounds. They're coming with rifles.
That's an AR-15 round.
A quiet evening comes to an end a minute after this red Camaro swings around the corner. Police say inside the stolen vehicle were 3 suspects who exchanged gunfire with a homeowner, leaving the neighborhood riddled with bullets.
Say what you want, but, he was protecting his family, and I absolutely would have done the same exact thing.
Bullets tore through vehicles and windows in front and back of the house.
At least 30, rounds that were still scattered all over him.
And multiple homes in the area were caught in the crossfire.
There's bullet holes in every house from here to the corner. It literally looked like, a takeover. That's what they were coming here for. That's, they had enough firepower, obviously, and it came with tasers and zip ties. I mean, God only knows what would have happened.
The Marysville police say no one inside any of the homes were hurt. The only person who was shot was the suspect that was caught.
The story starts with a guy stopping for some gas just after 12:30 in the morning Saturday when he realized another guy came running at him. This man coming to rob the guy at the pump, pistol whipping him and stealing his wallet. But as he ran away, a random bystander parked outside of the store, pulling out his gun and shooting the suspect.
This guy, he was sitting in the car. While he was running, the guy just came outside and shot the suspect.
The entirety of this bizarre series of events caught on security cameras at the zip in, zip out. Employees not even realizing what's going on.
He was cleaning inside, so he heard the gunshot.
The random man shooting the suspect in the upper body, according to Houston police. The robber later dying at the hospital. In this video, you see the witness checking on the robbery victim before leaving about a minute after he shot the suspect. All of this before Houston police arrive, begging the question, could the man who saved the day face charges?
It's like bad also and good also.
I don't believe they did the right thing. I don't believe they should have shot him.
Yeah, don't come back to this neighborhood.
As deputies responded to the Creekside subdivision on Saturday after an anonymous homeowner caught Zachary LaFleur burglarizing their home. A neighbor who told deputies they had been burglarized right before the interaction came to help.
Because he came and he punched him and he started walking back here and I heard him shoot 3 times.
That's when deputies say LaFleur got into his truck and a resident shot out the tires of LaFleur's vehicle, at which point LaFleur got out and ran away. Edwards says a third victim on Weiberger Road heard an alarm coming from the house behind their property. A home investigator say LaFleur tried to burglarize in an attempt to hide. That third victim began walking their property and found LaFleur asleep in a truck before holding him at gunpoint until deputies arrived.
And they're lucky they didn't break and decide to sleep in my car. I'll say that.
A concealed carry license holder shot a suspect during an attempted robbery at a downtown jewelry store. Police say it happened near Washington and Wabash just before 11 this morning. The suspect tried to run away but was arrested nearby before being taken to the hospital. No one else was injured and police say charges are pending.
And this is all following an attempted armed robbery outside of a bank in Swansea. Now, yesterday was a holiday. The bank was closed, but police say the suspect, along with another man who police have yet to find, allegedly went up to someone making a delivery and demanded money at gunpoint. That's when the would-be victim fired 2 shots at the suspects, and the suspects drove off in a U-Haul. Now, this is where that story takes an interesting turn. That U-Haul was found burning, charred about half a mile away. A short time later, Foyal was taken into custody after his Jeep was stopped, but he was the only person in that car, which is why a manhunt this noontime continues for a second suspect.
18-year-old who's been charged with murder. Her 16-year-old was killed. They say Holmes coached 16-year-old Quinones on how to commit armed robbery. Quinones reportedly was killed at the Haven at Elgin student apartments.
We know that Holmes was coaching Quinones on how to commit armed robbery. We're told that Quinones was attempting to do just that. He was in an elevator when he was attempting to rob people. They pulled out their own gun, shooting him and killing him. Now, the Harris County DA is telling us that they're holding Holmes responsible for the murder through something called the law of parties. And the law of parties allows somebody to be held for someone else's crimes under 3 circumstances. First, if you cause or help an innocent person engage in crime. Second, if you intentionally help, encourage, or direct someone to commit or attempt to commit a crime. Because Holmes coached Quinones how to commit armed robbery and Quinones was killed in the process, Holmes is now responsible for the death, despite him not even being there at the time of the crime.
A Houma man is in jail after police say he broke into a house and was shot by the homeowner. The victim told police around 5 this morning He heard a noise downstairs at his home on Roberta Grove Boulevard, and when he went to investigate, he was confronted by 34-year-old Dex Hebert. The homeowner fired his gun and hit Hebert, who suffered a superficial wound to his forehead. Police say they found Hebert hiding inside of a nearby home, and they also arrested 26-year-old Ty Corbett as an accomplice.
Sheriff's office says a man is dead after stealing a barbecue pit from a home in northeast Harris County. And according to their investigation, the homeowner went after the thief in his car and later shot and killed him.
Tom, right now, no one is facing charges, but that could change. Investigators say the homeowner jumped in his car after this guy got away with his barbecue pit. The two had some kind of confrontation, and that's when the homeowner shot several times at the suspect, hitting and killing him. The suspect, according to investigators, was in the car with someone else. We're told that person wasn't hurt, nor are they facing any charges at this time. The sheriff says the reason this guy shot the thief is because during their confrontation, he believed the thief had some kind of weapon. In a statement to investigators, the homeowner said he feared for his safety. The case is now headed over to a grand jury.
And a deadly shooting investigation underway in Hueytown. Police tell us that they found a man shot to death under the front seat of a vehicle in the driveway of June Avenue overnight. They say that the sister of the resident at that home went to the house with two men. At least one of those men showed a gun and the homeowner shot him. At this point, the DA's office is reviewing the case to determine if the possibility of charges.
Deputies say a man in Durham was shot while trespassing on private property multiple times. 35-year-old Brandon Collins is charged now with first-degree trespassing. It happened last night just after 5:30 on the 8200 block of NC 751 in Durham. Deputies are telling us that Collins went to the home there 3 times, got into a fight with the homeowner, and was then shot. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. After Collins was released, he was taken to the Durham County Detention Center, where he was given a $5,000 secure bond.
An Dothan man is behind bars after police say that he tried to rob a woman with a BB gun. Police arrested Brayon Vickers after getting a call about shots being fired in a robbery on Ross Clark Circle. After an investigation, they found out that a woman was approached by Vickers, who she believed that he had a gun, and tried to rob her. That's when the victim pulled out her own pistol and shot Vickers once, who then ran away. They later found Vickers after searching him. They then discovered that the gun in the alleged crime was actually a BB gun. Vickers was arrested and charged with robbery.
San Antonio family woke up to find 4 intruders in their living room.
Victoria's Black Swan Inn has been a Northeast San Antonio iconic place for the paranormal for years, but they say what happened here the other night was way scarier than anything that has ever gone bump in the night before.
That I was starting to drift off, that I heard piano music.
Joe Rivera thought she was imagining things just before 2 a.m., but she wasn't.
They are in the house.
Rivera says her partner was stunned to find people in their living room.
There was 4 of them, and it's pitch dark down here. He comes down with a shotgun and he tells them, "Don't move. Stay right here."
Rivera says 2 teen males and 2 teen females stayed put. The teens were charged with misdemeanors, criminal mischief, and criminal trespass. They say they're not really worried about their return because they remain armed.
A shooting in Denison Monday sends one man to the hospital. Deputies were called to the 100 block of McCraw Lane. A homeowner told them a man forced his way into the home, threatening him with a hammer. The homeowner tried to get the man to leave and was struck by that hammer. The homeowner shot the man and called authorities.
A crime alert this afternoon. 4 juveniles and a man detained after a shooting in southeast Memphis. Police say it started with a stolen car. Just before 10:30 a.m., officers saw a vehicle that appeared to have been involved in an accident at Winchester and Quince. They say several people jumped out of the car and ran. Officers caught up with 2 juveniles and took them into custody. 2 other juveniles were found shot. They were taken to Le Bonheur but are going to be okay. Police say the 4 teens had just stolen a vehicle in the area when someone fired several shots at them, causing them to drive into the curb and stop.
We start tonight with breaking news at 10. Denver police confirm 2 people are dead after a shooting behind a shopping center in South Denver. Now, this happened near the corner of Wadsworth and Bellevue early this morning. Fox 31 hearing from police new tonight who say one man was pronounced dead at the scene while a woman died after being taken to a nearby hospital. Investigators say this all started when a site manager at a nearby construction site found both of those people possibly involved in a burglary. After confronting the pair, they reportedly assaulted this site manager, who then pulled a firearm and shot the man and woman. Police say the alleged shooter is cooperating with the investigation and no arrests have been made.
A Nashville rideshare driver says he shot and killed a passenger in self-defense. Devin Campbell says the passenger, Kieran Gardner, tried to kidnap him, pulling out a gun. Campbell pulled out his own gun, leading to the deadly gunfire. Police say Campbell is cooperating.
Developing right now at 4 o'clock, police responded to a bloody scene in a home in Margate.
And that's where one person was shot and another found stabbed.
And new at this hour, we can now confirm the man who was stabbed is the victim, according to police. That man's father telling me that his son was forced to fire to protect himself. A fight spilling out onto the street, a residential area in Margate. Police quickly swarmed the scene, talking to witnesses, taking pictures, taking statements after a fight led to a man being stabbed and another man shot. All he knows is he got that call, believing his son opened fire to protect himself.
Is there somebody pulled a knife in and tried to kill him?
Police only confirm a fight in that home led to a stabbing and a shooting. The rest is still unclear. The man with the gunshot wound was taken to the hospital as officers continue to piece this together.
Without mine, you never catch me. Without mine, without mine, you never catch me. Without mine, without mine, you never catch me. Without mine, without mine, you never catch me. Without mine.